Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of Behind the Loo. I am Brendan. I'm joined with Sean and Adam as always, and it is the week of April 24th. The Cardinals are in the middle of their West Coast road trip. They just finished the Seattle series and they finished their series with Arizona at home earlier last week. And now this week they take on the Giants and the Dodgers. But before we get into everything, I just want to ask you guys how you guys doing and um how's Adam's Pirates starting of the year? How does he feel about that so
Dude,
far?
I feel amazing
What's
about
it
it.
like to have hope?
Dude, I know we don't have hope. I don't know what's going on right now. Don't know. Pitchers are dealing, people are hitting the ball, and sadly, O'Neal Cruz is still out. But I'd feel a lot better if he was still playing.
I think that's what makes
But
this more impressive. I know, like, you look at the Pirates, we're not going to spend too much time on them, obviously, but I mean,
should
I think it's very impressive just because, like, even though they're playing easier teams, like they play Colorado, they played the Reds, you know, I mean, it's not easy to beat those teams still. Like to go on a 7-game winning streak, no matter who you're facing,
we
is not
also
easy.
beat Hunter Green and we beat Nick Lodolo, dude. In their both Red series, they pitched their aces against us. We still beat
Lodolo
them.
pitch that I know Green did.
The Green pitched this last series. The series before that, Lodolo pitched,
Oh,
and then Green pitched the next.
but yeah, I mean, you look at like this team. I mean, look, like I'm looking at their just like their offense right now.
Kutch
If
McCutcheon is resurging his career too,
but
dude.
McCutcheon has a 139 WRC plus, but the one that just shocks me, how the hell does Connor Joe have a 1 WAR already
He's
with a
insane. He's an RBI
194 WRC
machine.
plus?
He's
He
an
has
RBI machine. It's crazy.
uh Brian Reynolds still doing his thing. Like everyone over here is just like over 100
Everybody,
WRC plus besides Key Brian Hayes. That's literally
well,
it.
but Key Ryan can't hit the ball. He can, but
He
can't. It's crazy. He doesn't like. He
doesn't
doesn't have
slug.
that. No, he doesn't. And
He's a
he's one of those
375 slugging.
players where, like, if he gets a hold of the ball right, yeah, he'll put it out. But like, he's also someone that doesn't make contact that often. But when he does, it's usually nice contact. But
Yeah, Connor Joe's just ridiculous, slugging 643, but
yeah,
with a
he's an RBI machine.
455 on base percentage.
Yeah, he's
That's
insane.
ridiculous. But
And
anyway, yeah, like so you look at like another thing with the Pirates though is like they're not being like they're winning like close games and they're winning blowout games too. It's like they're winning them different facets and they're pitching. It's weird. I don't know. I
Is
don't
that
expect it to. I don't
is
expect it
this
to
Vince
last long, but
Velasquez is our ace right now. That dude is
no,
dealing, and
he's
then right,
not. It's
yes,
it's
it
Johan
feels like he's
Oviedo.
dealing.
It's Johan
Oviedo, I was gonna
Oviedo.
say Oviedo's been doing good too.
He's not even an ace, but he's your best pitcher probably.
He's pretty solid, dude. He's been pretty solid all year. I
what
mean,
it is?
Velasquez had 10 strikeouts the other night.
I was gonna say what it is simply is, as Adam put it, they got that dog in them right now, and
Fact, they
they're
do.
battling.
They do. If we don't get swept by the Dodgers and keep a little bit of momentum to get through this rough patch, we might be dangerous for a little while. But
Johan Oviedo has posted a 2.2 ERA right now. Crazy. But
this my
move.
last thought from on the Pirates. If the
Mhm.
Pirates have enough momentum to have a chance to get into October before O'Neal Cruz comes back, like because he comes back August. If he comes back and we have a shot to get into the postseason, I will be happy.
I don't know. It's hard because it's nice knowing that there's a team like the Pirates though. They're fun to watch. They're a very scrappy team. I think it's good for baseball that they're doing well right now. They kind of remind me of like last year's Orioles a little bit. Is
Mhm.
like they kind of just came out of nowhere. But I hope they don't do what they did last time and don't trade pieces and like buy at the deadline when that's probably what they should not do.
No,
They
I
probably
want
should
them
just
to.
keep their development
The
and
only person I'm willing to trade at deadline is Rich Hill, if that's even possible.
the Cardinals might pick him up just based off past history. I hope not. That'd be awful. But
And then we got that setup guy or closer that we got from
Bednar?
the Met. Not Bednar. That
No,
dude's a dog.
uh what's his name? Holderman.
Holderman.
That
Tyler
dude's
as a Tyler.
gross.
Yeah, dude, he's a
Got from
thought.
Daniel Vogelback. I don't know how that's possible, but
Danny
moving on.
Burgers.
Moving on from the Pirates, though, because we're a St. Louis podcast. We're gonna start with the Diamondback series. There was a lot that happened. In the series, you had the first two games were losses. The first game, the Diamondbacks took 6 out of 3, and that was the Jack Flaherty, Merrill Kelly game. The one takeaway from that game that I had was Jack Flaherty looked really sharp. I know his final stat line did not look like it should. It didn't look like it was a good start, but when you actually watch the game, it was 6 inning pitched, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 4 earned runs. So it wasn't the greatest start, but it was the way he was pitching just looked a lot more impressive than we've seen him in a while. And then what happened that game was Jack Flaherty was doing well, and then he gives up the walk and the double, and then Andre Palante comes in and gives up walks a guy and gives up the grand slam, which pretty much put them to bed after that. And then the second game was another one. Jordan Montgomery, he got lit up. 4 innings pitched, 700 runs, 2 strikeouts. That was not a good game for him either. So yeah, it's just you're facing the Diamondbacks team, which is a very tough lineup. Honestly, it's a very young team. And
did you guys see Gallen when?
No, we did not face Gallen. If we would have faced Gallen, it would have been bad. But
how's that? I think our Cy Young pick's looking good in Gallen, dude.
He's still looking very good. Yeah, he's looking real good.
I don't
Christian
know.
Javier, I don't know how he's looking. I don't think he's looking at Cy Young like, but that
Nolan
can still turn around.
MVP too, dude.
No,
worry me.
Arenado MVP is worrying me a little bit. We'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, Jordan Montgomery just did not look good on that start against the Diamondbacks. It was the 8-7 loss. But the thing about that game that was interesting was that was the game where we almost came back. We were down by like 4 runs. It was 4-8 in the 9th inning, and then we come and get like 3 runs in the 9th, but we lost by 1 run. Wilson Contreras had 2 home runs that game. That's kind of the game that broke Wilson Contreras out of his slump too. So that was kind of nice to see. Like that game kind of, even though it was a bad game, I think it caused what happened the next day, which was the game against Madison Bumgarner, where we pretty much ended his career, I would say.
I think
literally
you guys essentially did.
God,
that was
so sad to see. Honestly, I mean, you never hope that for any player, but like Jesus Christ.
No, I mean it literally ended his career. He was, if you didn't see, he was DFA. After it was so funny because the Wilson Contreras thing that happened where he like swung at a pitch, it's like a first pitch fastball, and he's like, oh, like he just missed it. And then Madison Bumgarner starts like yelling at him, like saying, shut the fuck up. Like, and then like calling him like a pussy and all this shit. It's like, why are you talking shit when you literally give up 7 runs in 3 innings? It was bad. It was real bad. Madison Bumgarner got DFA'd by the Diamondbacks. He's still owed $35 million for the next 2 years, too.
Dang.
So that contract for the Diamondbacks, he's probably, I don't think he'll go anywhere. Some people talked about.
I wouldn't mind the Pirates signing him, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. If we took a chance with Rich Hill, might as well take one with Madison Bumgarner.
He's the worst pitcher in baseball.
You think?
No, he is statistically the worst pitcher in baseball. Let me pull up his baseball savant here. And this is gonna get into the other part. Jake Woodford's one of the worst pitchers in baseball, too, who pitched that day. And I'll get into him after I talk about Madison Bumgarner here, since he was the one that went against him on that Wednesday afternoon game. But Madison Bumgarner was in he's in the bottom 5 percentile in expected batting average, bottom 10 in expected slug, bottom 3 in K percentage, bottom 7 in walk percentage, bottom 8 in whiff percentage, bottom 3 in chase rate, bottom 4 in fastball velocity. This dude is awful. He has no curve spin either. He's in the bottom 24. You look at his baseball savant page, it is all blue. The only thing that's red is extension, and the only thing that's average is the average exit velocity, but even everything else is just awful. It is the worst.
What about
one of the worst things I've ever seen? Like worst baseball savant pages I've ever seen.
What about Woodford?
Woodford's just as bad as Madison Bumgarner. And that's where I get into the problem. Like, I know Jake Woodford is not our main. He's not going to be our rotation piece for the long term. He's kind of just like the backstop for Wainwright. But at this point, I don't know what we do with this guy. He's 26 years old. He's a righty. He's been with the org for a while. He has just as bad numbers. Again, bottom 6 in expected batting average, bottom 5 in expected slug, bottom 8 in K percentage, bottom 3 in chase rate, bottom 8 in fastball spin, and bottom 26 in fastball velocity, bottom 3 in average exit velocity. At least Madison Bumgarner was average in the league. He has the worst percentile in hard hit percentage. People hit him harder than any other pitcher in baseball.
Jesus. Rope fest.
Yeah, so this dude is just awful. He's been like, even though like his starts don't look as bad as they might as these numbers say, but he is absolutely terrible as a fifth guy in your rotation. And that's why I'm wondering, with like the emergence of Liberatore doing well in AAA, if that's something they would do, especially once we talk about the Mariners series, because with the way the match start happened. But again, it kind of goes back to the beginning of the year where John Mozeliak said we have 6 starting pitchers, and Jake Woodford was included in that list.
It's such a joke at this point, Brennan. Like, it's going to be the running gag for probably the rest of the season. I don't understand. I just lost faith with it all.
Well, I mean, like,
in general,
do we have 6 starting pitchers? Yeah, yes, but we talked about this. They're bad starting pitchers,
so bad,
or they're average, or they're unproven. Like they haven't proven themselves in a while. But there is some pros happening with the pitching staff. Like I said, I'll get that kind of came to apparent to me in the Mariners series. But anyway, that was kind of the recap of the Diamondback series. Nolan Gorman hit his first career grand slam. That was cool too.
Was the Diamond series the one with the Ollie quote, or no? Is that the next one?
No, that's the Mariners one.
Okay, then I'll say
that was after the first Mariners game. So yeah, but Jake Woodford probably should not even be on the 40-man roster, to be completely honest. He's that bad. Like, he shouldn't even be in the organization. Like, I mean, this dude's like 26 years old. He's not doing well. Like, yeah, he somehow has like good, like basic stats, like ERA and stuff like last year he did, but he just does not have it. I know his underlying stuff just shows that he's just terrible. So I don't know. I really just have to wait till what Adam Wainwright comes back and does and make that decision then. But moving on to the Mariners series, which we lost the first game again, which is we have not won a first game of a series all season long. And that's when the Ollie quote that Sean was talking about came in.
See, for me, it's just, here's the problem that I'm having with this.
Well, you want to read the quote off first?
Oh,
do you remember what it was?
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, well, so basically, I know what it was. It was basically someone asked, I think it was Derek Gould who asked, or Derek Gould or Katie Wood, I can't remember. It was one of the main beat writers, so I apologize for that. But they asked, are you concerned that you have not won the first game of a series yet all season? And then his response was, I don't really look at it that way. I want to win every game, but I'm not really that worried about us losing every first game of a series. And people are upset. I know you're one of them who are upset with the fact.
I think it's the way that everyone else was portraying it, of like, isn't that your job to be worried about these first games? Because again, me being the novice of baseball and stuff, it's very important to start the series off with a win or in the right attitude and all that. So to come out and be like, oh yeah, I'm not worried about it. Like,
yeah, you want to set the tone. I get it.
It's kind of concerning to see. But another thing to think about with it all is, and I think we should probably give him more slack on this, is that this is technically Ollie's like second year as a manager, right? And he's one of the youngest managers in the MLB. Mm-hmm. So I say, like, this year, whatever decisions come, I'm going to still chalk it up to inexperience, but anything afterwards, it's going to be kind of concerning to look at going forward if Ollie doesn't learn from it and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I completely understand people's take on that whole thing where it's like they're upset because it's like what you should be worried about every game. And I think he's the play devil's advocate towards it. I think I think that's what he's trying to say is
Right.
he's not saying like, oh, I don't care that we're not winning the first game. That doesn't matter. The first game doesn't matter. He's saying I don't care about the first game because I want to win every game. I think that's what he was trying to say, but it just didn't sound that way.
Yeah,
Because I just think it was just said poorly. It does come off poorly, especially when your team's struggling and you just say you don't care.
It was poor timing.
Yeah,
to say that.
Especially with like everything that happened earlier with Tyler O'Neill being like, "Oh, well, he just doesn't. He's not trying." It's like you go and give that quote out.
Ollie has a lot of weird things, like the whole thing from Colorado, where like I think we forgot to talk about it, but it was that one where there was a play at the plate. It didn't matter with the game. The game we lost by 2 runs, but they scored a run because of it. Wilson Contreras tagged the runner, and he had his foot on the plate, and the bases were loaded. So technically, it says it's a force out, and the tag was there. That runner should have been out. Well, they called him safe, but Ollie did not call the called for a challenge quick enough to the umpires. So they didn't get the review in, and he was all pissed off about it, which is funny because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he doesn't hustle. He's not hustling to get that challenge." It's just that whole thing was so funny. But I think last year, Ollie didn't have the struggles like this. I mean, last year we didn't have we had moments where it was down, like September, and like some of the moments like in like June and like early July.
Would you say that it was more of the players playing for the veterans than the manager?
Well, I mean, you could say that's a possibility. I mean, I never really thought of it that way. And I think the players respect Ollie. I haven't heard anything that made me think otherwise. Nolan Arenado has came out. Well, hang on. Nolan Arenado has came out and said that Ollie Marmol is one of the best managers he's ever had. And other players have respected him. Like we haven't heard anything besides this whole Tyler O'Neill thing. There's been nothing that's came out at all about how Ollie manages that players are upset by. And even since then, no one's even came out and like tried to defend any party. It's just kind of like it seems like it blew over. And I know people want to connect the Tyler O'Neill thing to what's happening right now because it's the easy thing to do. It's an easy scapegoat to have. But I don't think that's really what's happening. I think this roster is just flawed. I think that's what's causing it. Like you have the depth problems to where I don't think they can get a chemistry going because you don't know who the starting outfield is because you have like so many different players out there who are playing every other day. And then you also have them who they go to spring training through the WBC. That's been a talking point. They didn't have like the chemistry since a lot of them were in the WBC. I don't believe that really because a lot of them are the same people from last year. So it's not like they have to learn anything new. And it also could just be the pitching staff is just not good enough and it's causing them to get down in the games early. And the offense is just not motivated after being down. Like how are you supposed to be motivated after you come out and ready to play and then your pitcher gives up 2 runs in the first inning? Like that was a problem early on. So it's like, I don't think and that's not Ollie's fault. That's just the way the front office, Mozeliak, Gersh, and DeWitt built this roster. I don't think it's anything to do with the Tyler O'Neill situation. Did it help anything? No, but I don't think it. I don't think it's
minute in the bigger picture.
Yeah, right. I don't think it's as big of a deal as some people are making. Like some people are actually calling for Ollie to be fired. Like it's like
that's overkill.
It's like this is insane. Like you. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Like he hasn't done anything that's really like yeah, we can disagree on how he handled the Tyler O'Neill situation, but that doesn't like both things can be true at one time. And people don't think that way, especially with Cardinals for some reason. Like people just think like one side everything. It's like this is the only way it is. There's no other way. And it can't be any other outcome. Yeah, and there's no other cause to it. It's not as deep as some people are trying to make it out to be, in my opinion, at least. I think this series in the San Francisco, before we go into the Mariners, just to give you a little preview of it, I think this series is going to be a great series for the Cardinals overall. The Giants are a struggling team, and you came off of a big win in Seattle, and you did well against Castillo. I think you have enough motivation to go into San Francisco and light it up, and hopefully take a series win or even a sweep from San Francisco. So
I think it could happen.
Yeah. So moving on from that, going to the Seattle series. That was a series loss again, but I think there was more pros to look at here than what the box scores say. So for the first game was the George Kirby, Steven Matz. This was probably the worst game of the three. This was because this is another game where it was like it got to the 6th inning and we could not get quality starts. And you want to know, this is something that is causing these issues and shows how bad the pitching staff is and why teams like the Pirates and the Brewers are successful right now and the Cardinals aren't. Do you know how many quality starts before Sunday? You know how many quality starts the Cardinals had? First of all, if you don't know what a quality start is, it is 6 innings. It's a starting pitcher goes 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs or less. That's it. So it's pretty easy. It should be pretty easy to get for a good pitcher.
I feel like there's only like 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 1 or
it's
3.
exact 2 for the Cardinals. You know how many the Pirates have?
11.
14.
12.
Dang, it was close.
12 from the Pirates, dude. And the Pirates coming into the season, they weren't talked about for the rotation at all. No one knew, no one thought that the Pirates would be able to throw a good rotation together. But they
I didn't
still
think
got
a
the
single
job
pitcher
done.
was going to get 10 strikeouts in a single game, but
They
here we are.
get the job done. They get the quality starts.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals can't get that. The only 2 before Sunday was both of them were from Jordan Montgomery. That's it. Miles Michaelis, you just signed this big extension. No quality start from you at all. Steven Matz, you're coming back from injury after you signed a big deal with us. Again, no quality start from you. And Steven Matz comes out here and just flat out fucking sucks on Friday. Nothing. I mean, it was abysmal on what he did.
He said that.
5.1 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 7 Ks, 2 walks. So let me explain what happened. He gets into the fucking 5th inning, right? He's looking pretty solid. He doesn't look great. He keeps throwing pitches over the middle of the plate because he's a fucking idiot. He can't throw anything for decisive at all. And he just constantly just throws pitches out in the middle of the zone. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he doesn't get burnt more. So it gets to the 5th inning, and they want to keep him out there because you want the quality start because you only have 2 of them for the whole year, and you're 20 plus games into the season. So what does he do? He gives up 3 fucking runs. Yeah, because he walked 2 of them. He misses location. And people are blaming the umpire. People are blaming Wilson for not framing the pitch right. Look at the fucking replay. He fucking missed his location so badly. Wilson wanted it inside. He got it high and up. Not even close. And you can't frame that. And then it drew the walk. And Matz looks all pouty on the mound, acting like a baby because he walked the person. And then here comes Drew Verhagen, who has been really good. He can't expect to be perfect. And he drives in the 2 runs that were not earned from his end, but they were Matt's runners. So he gets the 4 earned run credit for him. And he should not be in the rotation. He cannot go long enough. Like he looks solid for short stinks. He's a good bullpen piece. I think Matt should be moved to the bullpen. Honestly.
I honestly agree, dude, because when you also think not even just quality starts from them, because Matz is terrible. That is just there's nothing going for him right now that says I should still be in the starting rotation.
He has a 0-3 record. And let me find something real quick. April. He had the 22 innings pitched. He has he's given up 16 runs. 16.
God.
What are you doing, dude? I don't understand. It's just so bad. Your ERA is you lowered your ERA from last start to a 6. You have a 6 ERA and you lowered it to a 6. A 6.4 to a 6.16 or something like that. I don't have the number in front of me, but holy fuck. How are you that fucking terrible? I don't understand. I don't get it.
We're already reaching the point in the season where the team is just breaking Brennan's psyche.
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad we're right here because this is hilarious.
Steven Matz he needs to just go to the bullpen. When he was in the bullpen last year towards the end because he was hurt, and he couldn't get extended. He was good. He was solid out of there. We probably need another lefty, a solid lefty who can get swings and misses, and Steven Matz could do that. I think he should be put in the bullpen, and if Liberatore continues, I would give him the shot to be another lefty out of the rotation. I mean, he's been really good at Memphis. Like if I would give Matz one or two more, and if it's just like this, I'm done. I would be done with him being in the rotation because he's not going to win you games. You can't go out every fifth day and have this guy put up those numbers. You can't do it. You won't win games. You won't win anything. You can't get on a roll of anything. That's the problem. You have Jake Woodford and Steven Matz in your fucking rotation, and they can't. How are you supposed to get on a roll when you have these awful pitchers in your rotation? I don't understand that Steven Matz is awful. I can't believe we signed him to that deal. What a terrible contract. So now moving on from that game, there was nothing positive in that game.
Before Brennan gives himself a brain hemorrhage.
The next game was this was the Miles Michaelis game.
Oh boy.
There was more positives in this. Not pitching, offense wise. The offense was kind of cold. Since the one big blowout game in the Diamondbacks against Bumgarner, and it just seemed like we couldn't beat any good pitcher at all. We go face Castillo, and we put up 3 against Castillo, who had a 0.6 ERA, who it's the only person who had a lower ERA than Luis Castillo to start the year was Shohei Ohtani. So you put up 3 runs against him. Looked good. I mean, Castillo still struck out around, I think he struck out 8. I don't have his box thing in front of me, his final line, but yeah, he you got to him, and that had to have been encouraging for this offense, especially when you are facing a guy like that. He is one of the best pitchers in the game, and that was really encouraging to see. But then it comes back to Miles Michaelis, where it just ruined everything. You have 3 runs, and let me see. So it's 1. Yeah, there's 3-1. Again, we need the quality start. We go into the 6th. It's same exact thing as the Mets start. You go into the 6th, and then what happens? You give up a base hit, a walk, and then a home run, and then it's 5. It's 5-4 as the final score. And they can't get the quality start. They could not get it. It's like they kept pushing to get it because they needed it so badly. You can't have your bullpen come in at the 6th inning every single day. You need a couple days where you need like one starter to at least, or 1 or 2 to get you to the 6th, at least, that get you through that. Because if you have all these bullpen pieces coming in this early, the 5th inning is like the average time where pitchers are usually going out of the game. If your whole rotation is not going longer than the 5th, your bullpen's going to get burnt out by June. It's just not going to be sustainable. So you need to be able to get these quality starts. But when they get to the point where they're right there for the quality start, they fucking fold. Every time. I'm so sick of it.
They fold.
I don't get how Miles is this bad. He was not this bad last year.
No, he wasn't.
And he was one of our best pitchers. And then again, his ERA is now 7.46. He's not that bad of a pitcher. He's not supposed to be. But he is. He's doing terrible. And again, you just signed this extension. You're supposed to be the new leader. And then again, I'm tired of hearing all these people about Miles Michaelis because they have to be nice to him because he just got the extension. Oh, you're just getting beat by weak contact. Oh, weak contact. That's all it is. He shouldn't be giving up any fucking contact. That's the point of the game. Why are you giving up contact at all? Dude. Why is that why? It's like saying, oh yeah, I can't even think of an analogy. I'm that pissed off.
Nice. Nice.
I just hate how they keep going back to that thing. It's like, oh, I just got beat by weak contact. That's all it is. I'm just missing by an inch. That's all. Well, I don't know. You didn't lose because because in this post game, he's like, I'm just losing by an inch. If I would have made that pitch just a little bit lower, then I would have been able to probably get out of that inning. Well, no, Miles, it's not what fucking happened. You know what happened? Teoscar Hernandez hit that ball 415 fucking feet. That's what happened. That's what happened when you missed your inch. You didn't lose by an inch, you lost by 415 feet. So I'm tired of that whole narrative. How it's like he's getting beat by weak contact. Because you go on his baseball savant page, he's has one of the most hard contact in all of baseball. He's given up that much hard contact. So I don't care. I don't care what he says. I don't want to hear that bullshit narrative anymore. And don't believe it if you do. He is not getting beat by weak contact. He's giving up bombs. That's what he's doing. He's not striking anybody out. He has 23 strikeouts. That's not acceptable. That as a top of rotation piece as he was supposed to be signed for, because that's what the organization thinks of him. But he's not a top of the rotation arm. So I'm done with that rant. Now let's get into Jack Flaherty, my savior.
Before we go into Jack Flaherty, I just have to ask one thing, Brennan.
What's up?
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Yes, I feel after this
Feel
Jack
better.
Flaherty start. After this Jack Flaherty start, I felt fantastic.
Yeah,
Jack
he's
Flaherty
been pretty good.
Jack Flaherty looked like fucking look like 2019 Jack Flaherty for the first time, and I can't even remember. But since 2019, he gave the quality start. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 9 Ks, 2 walks. Now, he had the one bad second inning where it looked like he had the really good first inning. Then he struggled in the second. I was getting worried. I didn't think it was going to be a good day for him. And then he just locked it in. After that second inning, he locked in and he retired just everybody that he faced. Yesterday's start, for Jack Flaherty, this is credit to Jacob at Cardinals Reek. He posted this tweet out for it, so that's what I'm crediting him for. He registered 23 swings and misses on 50 swings in total, with a 46. That's a 46% of swings and misses.
That's crazy.
It's the most whips he's had in a single game since 2018, and it's his third most whips in a single game overall.
That's wild.
That's fantastic to see from Jack Flaherty. And that is such a that's what we needed so badly. We needed that dominant performance. Even though I felt confident when you're going against Chris Flexen, you should have won that game with your offense. I'm glad that wasn't the only reason why we won. Because we scored 7 runs, and that's what mainly gave us the win. Jack Flaherty came out and did his job and was a stopper. Even though he struggled in the second, he came back out and still managed to get us through the game and get us through 6 innings. And then the bullpen came and shut it out. That's how these games are supposed to go.
Right.
And and the thing is every start he's doing is he's just getting better and better and better. And that's what makes me really excited to see what he does next. Because we started at the beginning of the year where he was giving up 7 walks in one game. And now it's like, then he's like slowly getting better and better. And this was his best start by far. 9 Ks. I know you, Adam, you wanted to do the under and 5.5 strikeouts for Jack Flaherty that day. And I told you no.
Yeah. Can we talk about that for a second? How heartbroken I am? Because I remember that game.
Yeah, we can.
Very clear. There was that game we placed a bet. Well, I did, but I took Brendan's professional opinion, and I took Flaherty under 5.5. And he was like, no, Flaherty's going to go over. So I took him. I think I took him, ended up taking him 4+ just to be safe. And then a bunch of other stuff. And then who's that guy we needed to hit?
Jared Kelenic was the home run pitch I had.
And
Nolan Gorman was a hit, and we had that.
Yeah, they all hit the second inning.
We had the 9 total runs. The Cardinal money line looked good. The only thing that we needed. Yeah, the only thing we needed was the Julio Rodriguez hit, the Teoscar Hernandez hit, and the Wilson Contreras hit. And then the parlay was basically ruined after Wilson Contreras was ejected.
Yeah, and that $3 would have won me $3,000.
But yeah,
anywho.
Nolan Gorman also just continues his tear on pitching. Like, he hit another home run yesterday.
That dude is a freak. I love watching him bat.
He is ridiculous. He is on pace for 44 home runs and 162 RBIs if he continues this pace.
I want him to hit 50 home runs. That's where I want him at.
And I got a fun stat for you guys. This is something that's really cool. Nolan Gorman is one of only one Cardinal player who is under the age, is 22 or younger to accrue these stats in his first 20 games of a season, and that's 20 plus hits, 40 plus total bases, and 6 plus home runs.
That's dope.
Now, who is the other person though?
Wait,
It's a big name.
under what?
Under 22 or younger to accrue these stats in their first 20 games. 20 plus hits, 40 plus total bases, and 6 plus home runs.
How long ago did he play? Is he currently in the league?
No.
Okay,
You know, I don't know anything about it, so I'm just going to say random names. Barry Bonds.
No, it's a Cardinal player, Sean.
Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols.
I was going to say Pujols.
Let's go.
Albert Pujols is the only player who was 22 or younger to accrue those stats in their first 20 games of a season. And Nolan Gorman just did it. So
he might. And how many home runs did Pujols have that year?
In 2001,
Yep.
I think that was. Let me look at that real quick. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it was like 35 plus, maybe even 40. That was his rookie year, I think. I can't remember.
What, 2002?
2001.
2001.
He had 37 home runs, 130 RBIs, slugged 610 with an OPS of 157. That was his rookie year. That was his rookie year, dude. Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Incredible. But yeah, I don't think Nolan was gonna have that kind of year, but I'm really encouraged. I just don't think that's unhuman like, Sean. Albert's the machine for a reason.
Why not? Tell me
But
why.
Nolan Gorman I'm really encouraged to see. And again, people were talking about trading him, and you heard it here first. We talked about it. We said you do not trade Nolan Gorman just yet. You don't do it, especially not for Pablo Lopez. You don't do it. And now look, we have a guy who if we didn't have Nolan Gorman, where the fuck would this team be? He's won us like 3 games.
Brennan would have canceled the pod. I'm done. I can't do this no more.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't know where we would be. I mean, this group, he's carried us. He's won us like, I think he's won us like five or so games.
Yeah,
dude,
dude, he is insane.
He's so fun, dude. His swing is so good, and if you got him on your fantasy for baseball, he probably saved your fantasy team. I couldn't pick him up, unfortunately, but yeah. So that kind of completes everything Cardinal wise on what happened. But looking forward to this week, like I said, we have the Giants. We're in San Francisco. That's an 8:45 Central start. We also have the Dodgers coming up this weekend too. So, some late night West Coast baseball. I think Sean and I are going to Up Down on Friday to watch hockey and baseball, possibly.
Oh, really? You guys, what games are gonna be on Friday?
I know, that's what I want to double check.
I think the Bruins game's on.
Bruins can win the series, right?
It depends. Bruins are currently up 3-1, so they could win it, I think, Wednesday. Dude, I was writing the article stuff the other day, and I had the LA Kings and Minnesota game on. These playoffs have been absolutely phenomenal. It's awesome to see because it's still giving me entertainment even with the Blues out. So it's, oh god, like there's so many storylines. Like I wouldn't think I'd be rooting for Toronto as much as I am, but I really hope they make it past the first round. Like I'm a part of believing now. It's so annoying.
Believing.
Dude,
I hope Seattle comes back.
Yeah, they're currently down.
I am a Connor McDavid fan. Let's go Edmonton.
I also want to. I know this is kind of a weird take, but I also would not mind seeing the Rangers win for Vladdy. Not gonna lie.
Patrick Kane too, man. Or wait, he's
not Patrick Kane. No, he's a Ranger.
Is he? He's
a Ranger right now, but no, it's like there's a lot of great teams out there. Like even Carolina. Like Carolina is going to be the only team that could probably stop Boston, and they just recently called up a former Blues depth piece in Mackenzie McEachran. Dude played the whole year in the minor league, comes up for this playoff game due to like some injuries in the forward core, gets a goal and assist, and wins it for the team. Like that's I love those storylines. They're so awesome to read about and see.
Also,
but I
talking
want
about
to.
that storyline, the Pirates are calling up this dude today after playing like 1,155. I think it was 1,155 games in the minor leagues. The Pirates finally called this guy up. His name's like Drew Maggione or something
Oh, I
like that.
saw
He's
that.
35. He's 35,
I
dude.
respect the grind, but Jesus
Yeah, so do I.
Christ.
Tell me I won't put like $1 million on him to hit a home run because the
Imagine.
storyline. I
That'd
think
be
I might.
crazy. But yeah. So I want to see. I want to watch some playoff hockey a little bit. I haven't watched any of it to be
Right
honest. I've been
now,
following it.
I can't
right
wait for the
now-
next series with the Pirates and Cardinals, man.
Yeah,
I
that'll
hope
be
we
That's not gonna be
both
for a
heat up.
while.
I know. I hope we both heat up and play each other at like full fucking blast.
We don't play each other till June.
Like I want 2011 Pirates Cardinals baseball.
2013 was the wild one.
2013.
Yeah, when Adam Wainwright ended your season.
Yeah,
Loved
that's
it.
true.
I've been watching a bunch of highlights just as background noise of like MLB, just like weird specifics categories and whatnot. I gotta say, Adam,
There's some insane Pirates
there's
moments
some
out there.
Pirates moments that are like
That
damn.
Johnny Cueto
s-
moment, that
Johnny
was
Cueto
so
tops anything.
nuts. The
Like,
one where
there-
like, did you see that, Sean? Where they're like chanting Cueto at that
I think
picture?
so.
Like, that's his name.
Cueto.
They're like, and then he dropped the ball because he was so overwhelmed.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah,
next
that's the one
pitch,
I
he
was
gives up
looking
the
at,
home
yeah.
run. That was fucking insane. I
Dude,
could
I
not
miss-
believe it.
You know who else like I really miss in a Pirates uniform is Josh Harrison. Dude, that dude was a freak in 2014. I don't care what anybody says.
His MLB The Show card sucks.
I know, but dude, he was an animal on the Pirates. And then, dude, Kutch in his MVP season. Like, we've had some good moments the past, like, I'd say in 2010s, we had some really good moments, but
And I think, like I said,
2020s, we haven't.
I think it's good for the sport that the Pirates are good. And I'm curious. I know this is way too early to talk about, but with the Cubs being competitive right now, the Brewers still being competitive, and now the Pirates emerging, and the Reds, their rebuild's probably like 4 or 5 years away. The Cardinals need to do something.
Oh, yeah.
They
to
need
make
to
some
pick
moves,
up a
man.
little bit because they might be like, I know their development's really good, but they might need to make moves pitching wise. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I know there's people talking about Dylan Cease possibly, which would be
That'd
incredible.
be pretty cool.
That
That'd be
would be
really
the
cool.
move of my life if we got Dylan Cease. I think we could afford it, but I don't know if White Sox would want to move on from
I was
him.
gonna say, isn't he a White Sox?
But White Sox need to just tear everything down.
Yeah, and C's
They
might
are-
be one of them, dude.
They
That's a
well, he has
possibility.
like 3 years of control left, but the thing with Cease is like he's so good. Why would you? He's a guy that you build around. You know what I mean? He's very
That's
young.
true.
He's 27. I mean, maybe they want to move on from him. I thought Lucas Giolito was probably the one guy I thought would be moved more likely, just because he's a free agent after this year, so he's probably for sure moved. I don't really want him just because I think he's kind of aging, but it'd be kind of cool if he brought Lucas Giolito back here only for one thing, not because of his talent, but only because of him and Jack Flaherty went to high school together with Max Fried. They all went
That's
to they were all
crazy.
him, Max Fried, and Giolito were all in the same high school rotation. Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
That's awesome. But yeah, so that completes everything Cardinal wise. So hopefully this series we get a good we got our team rolling. Hopefully the Pirates slow down. Seems
Hey,
like
knock it off. Don't say that in existence.
hopefully the Brewers
Hopefully the Brewers and the Cubs
suck.
just die and we succeed. How about we? I root for the Cardinals, but you
Okay,
don't root for the
well,
Pirates.
Well, I root for them like spiritually. If we lost our playoff spot to the Pirates, if that's the reason why, I don't think I could be that upset. I couldn't be. It's like that. Who would have fucking thought that would have happened?
Yeah,
They have the Pirates have the best team in the National League 20 games in. You need to acknowledge how insane that is.
I know, and it's crazy because everybody had his bottom two. Everybody had his bottom.
Everyone
two.
had you right next to the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, and look at us now. What are we,
Oakland's
16 and 7? We're on a 7-game win streak, dude.
Oakland's just sad, dude. I feel so bad for those fans.
We're on a
Speaking of that,
7-game win streak.
Did you get one more thing? Did you guys hear about the whole Oakland thing to Vegas that they have
Yeah,
a bidding
they got
agreement,
bought
a
out.
binding
Yeah,
agreement?
I saw
They
that.
have a binding agreement for where the Oakland Athletics have a place on the strip right next to where the Raiders play.
Oh, I thought it
Oakland
was
is
just
just
going to be in the Raiders Stadium again.
oh no. Oakland's such a sad fucking city, dude. How do you lose 3 teams in the span of like 6 years?
Who's their
I
third
can't even
team?
imagine.
Raiders.
The Warriors. They moved to
I
San Francisco.
forgot. Yeah, I forgot they moved to San Fran. Man,
That
that's
sucks.
crazy.
You lose the
Oakland is
Warriors, the
terrible.
Raiders, and now possibly the A's. Which I think it's guaranteed that the A's leave.
The Raiders is what a lot of their money was coming from for a long time.
The thing is like no one wants to go to an A's game because one, the stadium sucks, two, their team sucks, and the owner just basically just. I mean, I don't blame the owner for wanting to leave because it's just not a good city to play sports in. It's just not. It's not a market anymore for that, and the city didn't do anything for the Raiders to get a stadium. They didn't do anything for the A's to get a stadium. So it's like, what do you expect the owner to do? They have to get out of there somehow.
Yeah.
But I think it sucks for those fans. But I'm happy that I'm excited to see Vegas baseball only because that could bring like a whole tourist thing. Like I would love to go. Like Katie and I have already talked about it. If they do that, we're gonna be going to Vegas and going to Cardinal games. That's what we're gonna do. That sounds awesome. So, but anyway, that completes everything. Make sure you guys are subscribed and so you don't miss a episode at all. We do episodes weekly. We have episodes on our Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube. So make sure you guys are all following us on that. We have Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything like that too. Our Instagram's kind of blowing up lately. We have like all those likes in that one Pirates video that we posted, and we don't really
that
post
is
anything
aging
on there.
well right now.
That is
aging.
I didn't even think
really
about
well
that
right now. Yeah, and you thought I was a lunatic. I want to put that on the podcast now. That aged really well.
I think that statement was true at the time, but I don't think now they have fans. So I don't know. I don't know how are the games packed,
dude.
I haven't looked at it.
They are. I mean, weekday games aren't packed, but weekend games, there's a lot of people there. I told you, Kutch brought enough people back.
I'll have to tune in to a Pirates game.
You will. Like the home opener, everybody saw how fun that was to watch and how many people were there.
Oh, I watched that game. That place was packed on home opener.
Yeah, dude.
That was that White Sox game. That was fun. That was a fun game.
Game was awesome.
That was the game where Brian Reynolds hit the inside the park home run. That was so cool. But yeah, anyway, that completes everything. Again, just make sure you're subscribed and don't follow all our socials, and we'll see you guys next week.